healed my bleach damaged hair. Healing bleach damaged hair is by no means easy. For I think like 4 years from 2018 to I think no, sorry, it was 2021 up until I think about a year ago. I was dyeing my hair like platinum blonde. I had vivids, really pastel light vivids, and my hair was completely fried. It felt like chicken wire. It could honestly stand up on its own. I didn't need hairspray for anything. My hair just stayed completely still. It was horribly damaged. It was breaking off. And honestly, I was to an extent losing my hair. It was so horribly damaged because I didn't know how to take care of it at the same time. That it was just starting to fall off, and I knew I needed to stop. And I didn't just need to stop, I needed to fix it. So we're gonna start with how I fixed it because my hair it's not 100% healthy, but it's the healthiest that it's been since I started dyeing my hair. My hair actually has some softness to it now, and it does move. It doesn't feel like chicken wire anymore. The biggest thing is having a moisture and protein-based routine. I didn't know how to take care of my hair when I had started bleaching it. I was barely using conditioner, which I know is a cardinal sin, especially if you have curly or textured hair. So just the biggest thing was starting with moisture and honestly just taking care of my scalp. I wasn't washing my hair properly. I had buildup on top of buildup, and that was not only keeping my hair from growing, but it was a big reason as to why my hair was like, honestly, kind of like spaghetti when it was wet. It just stretched. It was awful. So getting started was starting with my scalp. First thing I started with was oiling my hair regularly. It was using a proper shea butter and vitamin formula, black castor oil, and vitamin E, letting that sit, marinate, massaging it into my hair and my scalp for I think about 30 minutes. Like I mentioned previously, 2 to 3 times a week. And then after that was proper washing. You can't just put shampoo on your hair, give it little sudsy suds, and wash it out. You can't just whoosh, whoosh, whoosh in your hair. That's not gonna work. You can't do that. I started using a proper scalp scaling shampoo. Obviously, this is in no way sponsored. I don't have that kind of audience, but I love this one from Aromatica. The rosemary scalp scaling shampoo has been instrumental in treating my dandruff. My scalp was inflamed and flaking, and it was driving me crazy. I don't have it with me, but I do also use a scalp scrub with this product specifically. After using the scaling shampoo on my scalp, I use a regular curly hair shampoo on the lengths of my hair. This on the lengths of my hair would honestly just be too drying. I have made that mistake, it's the only reason I know. But a proper moisture shampoo for the lengths of your hair is so important. Another important thing with healing your breakage and your bleach damage fried hair is knowing how to layer your products. You want to use protein or bond treatments. There is, oh goodness, if I can find the label. There is this protein treatment from Heritage that I have been using a lot recently. It's almost empty like that. Almost completely gone. Or this biotin mask that I got from Pure Zero. I love a vegan hair mask because my allergies. So I love a good biotin protein hair mask that is vegan. We love to see it. After that is proper conditioning. For a while I was using the Shea Moisture products. Um, but I can't remember the reason I stopped. I think they were too heavy for my hair, if I remember correctly. So I did switch to Maui Moisture, um, using a proper conditioner, not just rinsing it out right away. You want to work with it, work it through your hair, let it froth up a little bit, and leave it in. You don't just want to put it in, rub it through, and then wash it out right away. You can just with your conditioner. You can't. Work it through, let it sit for me, I like to let it sit about 10 minutes. I'll brush my teeth usually while I'm conditioning my hair. Um, but after that, and I'll rinse it out with warm water or hot or warm water. I don't like cold water for the scalp. Not any particular reason, I just don't like it. Your care, taking care of your hair is super important. You can't just use your regular conditioner. You need to use a leave-in conditioner with it. They work together. Using one without the other just doesn't work as well, if at all. You need both. They work together. They are best friends. They work with you. Use conditioner and leave-in conditioner. I use this hyaluronic acid one from Elvive. I'm on my second bottle. I love it. I've talked about it before. It's great. As well as applying your leave-in conditioner, making sure that you're taking care of your scalp outside of the shower, not just properly washing it is important. I use this scalp therapy serum from Dove. This is my third bottle. As you can see, I like it a lot. It is great for cooling down your scalp and just honestly, I don't know if it's just a placebo effect, but honestly, I do feel like it soothes my scalp after washing, conditioning, hair masks, all of that. And then for the lengths of my hair, I do like to go in with a bond-in oil or serum just to help with the protein treatments that I'm using to fill in the gaps that bleach created and basically fried. Um, I am using this one from L'Oreal. It is Everpure, but another um, just really good oils to incorporate in your hair. For like bond-in oils would be argan oil, jojoba oil, um, just a really good oil that conditions and holds in moisture. That is going to be the biggest thing with fixing fried hair. Um, just really bonding treatments in general can be great if you know how to use them. I have this rebonding treatment from Heritage. This is one that you apply before your hair care routine. I know that there are some that you can apply afterwards. I'm aware of the red kinesthetic bonding, the Olaplex, the Brazilian Bond Builder. Those are all really good products. This is just the one that I have. This is the one that I use. It says goodness, I read these directions every day, but you just apply a good amount to the lengths and ends of your hair and leave it in for 3 to 5 minutes. I have the horrendous habit of leaving it in for 10, but I feel like that makes it work better. Maybe. I don't know. I could be completely wrong. But not just these products, but consistency. I've been at this for over a year, and I'm just now getting my hair to a decently healthy point. Another big thing with taking care of fried hair is to trim it regularly, not cut, just trim. I'll take about an inch off every couple of, like every 2 to 3 months. For me, feels like a good spot for trimming my hair, just making sure that I'm constantly keeping up with the dead ends so there isn't more breakage, so that I'm not, so that I'm preventing worst case scenario with my hair. Your hair isn't growing. Here's what to do. It starts with your scalp. Now, you've probably heard of shampooing your scalp and conditioning the lengths of your hair, which is a good place to start, but it's not doing the most that it can do. Your scalp is where your hair follicles are. That is where you need to be centering a lot of the care, starting with a scaling shampoo to remove the buildup of product and oil. The biggest thing that can stunt your hair growth or your hair regrowth is a ill taken care of scalp. That is where your hair is not properly loved, it's not going to really just help your hair grow the way that it can. I use this rosemary scaling shampoo. This is my second bottle, and it has done wonders for my hair growth. This, along with a scalp scrub, is able to remove all of the product and oil buildup from the week prior, and it has just done so much for my hair growth. After scrubbing your scalp, you need to soothe your scalp. You want to nourish the scalp. A good scalp serum is a great place to start. And when you have advanced a bit using a little bit of hair oil like castor oil or vitamin E to further nourish the scalp, the roots, everything, just to, help feed your hair. You want to feed the follicles, essentially. You want to feed them. Oh, you can't see the labels of what I'm using. You want to feed them with the moisture, basically. Because a moisturized scalp, moisturized hair is hair that grows. Now, of course, after shampooing, you're going to use any kind of hair mask. For me, I don't have it with me at the moment because I need to get more, but I like the Dove Super Serum. It took me a second, and I leave that in for a while. I also like to use this a little bit. It's not how the product is supposed to be used, but it's how it works best because it's done so much for my hair using it like this. But the Shea Black Castor Oil Leave-In Conditioner, I use that as a hair mask. I find it the most effective as a hair mask for me and my hair. Gracious, this is not... Stay. Goodness gracious. After that, I'm gonna need to stop and fix this. Okay, I think that's better. Anyway, so after you rinse out your hair mask, you're going to use a good hydrating conditioner. I am on my second bottle of this, but I flip-flop between this and my Maui Moisture curly conditioner, depending on what my hair needs more that day. After you rinse out your conditioner, I like to leave it in for 10 minutes. It's absolutely not necessary to leave it in that long, but that's what works for my hair. After your conditioner, you're going to use a leave-in conditioner. They are best friends. They work together. They work together to help you and your hair. They are best friends. Let them be best friends. Use them together. Conditioner does not work without leave-in. Leave-in does not work without conditioner. Conditioner is to hydrate. Leave-in is to lock in the moisture. Moisture is the best thing for your hair growth. I use this hyaluronic acid one to just add that little extra push of moisture. Hyaluronic acid is great for moisturizing your skin. It's great for moisturizing your hair. I use this one for that extra push, but you can use what products work for your hair as long as you use them in this order. Use your conditioner and then your leave-in conditioner. I will not stop until it is ingrained in your skull that you use them together. That's my dog. Until you use them together. After your shower is super important because this is like one of the last steps, like the second to last step. First, for me, I use a bonding oil because I personally have been bleach frying my hair for the past 3 years until eventually I had to stop because it had gotten really stringy and stretchy, kind of like overcooked spaghetti noodles. It just wasn't great, and it was starting to come out in chunks, like it was breaking off in chunks, and that kind of scared me. That kind of just made me realize I don't know how to take care of my hair. Clearly I'm not doing it right. Clearly I'm not taking care of my hair in a way that's going to prevent it from falling out, somewhere in the near future. So to rectify that, along with my current hair care routine and having not bleached it in over a year, I go in with a bonding oil. Bonding oil is great not just for fried or damaged hair, but just for hair that honestly just experiences a lot of breakage. Breakage can come from a multitude of reasons. Things like sleeping because it can be really hard putting all of that on it can be really hard for your hair, putting all of that on your hair. So switching to a satin pillowcase or a satin bonnet can be great for helping to pull back on how much breakage and damage is being done to your hair while you sleep, because you're tossing, you're turning, you're laying on it, it's getting caught on things. At least that's how it was for me. So just switching to a satin bonnet really helped a lot. I used to have a microfiber one, and that is not a sin that I'm particularly proud of, but I admit it, you know. Um, so after your bonding oil is going to come with your stylers, things like styling creams, styling gels, for me to just go in and style my curls, help them keep their shape, because I have a lot of hair and I am looking to cut about half of it off. So the weight of my hair can kind of just weigh my hair down and make it super frizzy. So I like to use this castor oil hair lotion. I used about a quarter size amount for half of my head, and just whatever's left over on my hand for my bangs. I don't know what that was, but a quarter, the whatever is left on my bangs. And so that's how I set my hair, and then I diffuse with a little bit of hair oil in the morning. I like to create a cast because otherwise it just goes. I look like a cotton ball. Or at least that's how it was in the Florida humidity. Where I live, there is no humidity. There's only desert. There's only sand. There's only Katniss. Now we're going to move on to ingredients and protecting your hair. So we're going to start with ingredients because that's honestly just the easiest. The thing with hair growth is a lot of people will tell you to use something like caffeine or minoxidil, which are great. They are great for hair growth, but that goes without saying, even though I'm going to say it anyways. I don't actually know what that means, but I'm going to say it anyways because I said it. They are stimulants, which means they only work as long as you are using them. If you use caffeine or minoxidil on your hair and it starts growing, if you stop using it, growth stops, the progress stops. You need to keep using to keep seeing results. That's just how it is. Things like rosemary shea butter, really just natural moisture in your hair care, is going to have, slower results. It's going to have less noticeable effects in shorter periods of time, but I found that it has more permanent results. If I could figure out how to talk, that would be great. Anyway, so aside from ingredients, protecting your hair, I had mentioned earlier, satin bonnets, satin pillowcases. When you sleep, you're rolling on your hair. It's getting caught in things. It's being tossed around. This causes friction. Friction causes damage. Damage causes breakage. Say it with me. Friction causes damage. Damage causes breakage. Got it? Good. For me personally, I sleep with a satin bonnet in my hair, and I don't currently own satin pillowcases. I have a satin bonnet. That's what I use. It works great for me. I do not always use a satin bonnet. I'm going to admit to a cardinal sin here. I used to use a microfiber bonnet. I know, you can go ahead and schedule my stoning for 6 p.m. next Friday. I used to use a microfiber bonnet. Not great for your hair. It protected my hair to an extent, but it didn't really do so much good as it kind of just prevented a mild amount of damage. So, satin bonnet, very happy with it. Satin pillowcases are also great, not just for your hair, but for your skin. But they just do a great job at preventing and reducing friction while you sleep. Another way to avoid, prevent damage, protect your hair is to just lessen your heat styling. As much as possible, things like tight hair ties or really harsh brushing can also cause damage and breakage. If you have the hair type for it, protective styles are also great. My hair can handle absolutely nothing but the open hair, and that is it. There is not a hairstyle, just in general, in the future of my hair, besides clipping the top back for like 30 minutes. My hair can't handle very much. But if you have the hair type for it, if your hair can handle it, things like protective styles can